Welcome everyone to Booze Bash 16, Week 1, Chemtech match between Nazumah and Bilgewater. Excited to be here. I have no idea what to expect, but I think there should be some fun ahead. So stay tuned. We're gonna get going shortly. Grab a drink, grab some snacks. It's gonna be a good time. And yeah, we'll be back when it begins. Actually, it looks like it is beginning. So we're back. We have Nazumah with Adelphi, Crocodile, the Cooked Noodle, Miss Danzy, and Debella. They are blue side in game 1. Don't know if I've ever seen a city within a region as its own team, but the power to them. On the other side, red side, we have Bilgewater. They consist of Tony Top, Big Toff, Twat. Yep. GY Cat Shy, and Lone Wolf. I don't know if there's a favorite in the chat. I don't know if we can do like a poll. I have no clue, but I'd be interested to see what people think between these two teams. Obviously, week 1, we have not seen anything, but there are some known entities for sure between the two teams. Cast is R. I'm excited to see what draft looks like as well. I have honestly not been paying attention to what's good and what people play. So it'll be a fun surprise. I will say I did look a little bit through some of the OPGGs of the players. And I still cannot tell what position everyone is going to play. So it'll be kind of a mystery. Should be fun. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get going shortly here. Just waiting on the draft to begin. Hope everyone had a lovely Wednesday, hump day. All right, looks like bans are starting. So Nazumah going to start off with a Jinx ban. I did see that Cat Shy is a prominent ADC player. That's going to be matched by a Veigar ban that is likely aimed at Debella, known for the Veigar in mid. And there's an Urgot ban. I think maybe Toph plays Urgot. That's at Twat. Bilgewater thinking. Have a lot of options that are shared between Nazumah. Lots of enchanters, lots of mages between Debella, Danny, and Adelphi. They're going to opt for the Scion, which is immediately met by a Thresh ban. The Scion is banned for the Cooked Noodle in top lane. The Cooked Noodle definitely a quite a strong player to be in Chemtech. And there's a Vi ban to wrap things up. It's likely for Crocodile. All right, so Lux is immediately picked up, B1. That makes sense. There's a big flex between Lux. I'm sure that they can play it in 3 roles. So pretty valuable pickup there. Gives them flexibility in draft. I am wondering who's running drafts for each team. It'd be interesting to know. Bilgewater here probably understood that this was a probable outcome on B1, so let's see what they have dialed up. All right, so Smolder gets picked up. That is a pick for Cat Shy. I did see a lot of Smolder games, and so honestly, in a Chemtech match where who knows how long it's going to take to end the game, I don't hate it. Followed by the Seraphine, so Enchanter Smolder picked up early. And we see Nocturne come out, and I like that a lot. Nocturne Zig. So immediately, Nazumah is picking the side of aggression with the Nocturne. Very useful to get on the Smolder, or the Seraphine in this case. Zig's picked up as well. That probably is in the bot lane for Danny if I had to guess. Still two ways that the Lux can be flexed. And Amumu picked up. So we have the classic Chemtech Amumu Seraphine that has not changed in the long hiatus that I've taken. Has always been quite strong. Obviously Amumu just dives on in and then you ult through. So let's see what bans looks like. Yep, top bans coming out against Nazumah. There's the Cho'Gath. Shen banned in response, so they're just banning top matchup right now. Probably saying, I do not like to play against this champion. Please ban it. Would be my guess. Bilgewater thinking. See if they're going to follow it up with another top ban. Yep, Renekton banned. And so you see the Cook Needle getting squeezed a little bit, especially in Fearless. We'll probably have some fun picks coming out. They did not ban Jax, which I know the Cook Noodle plays right now. Don't know how good it is here, though. Not an expert. And Dr. Mundo ban is locked in. So trade of 2 top bans each. If you're Bilgewater, probably you know pretty much what you're going to be playing into mid. You might want to just take your mid here. Save your counter for top would be my guess. Oh, so it seems that Seraphine is going mid, is my guess here. Unless there's a Smolder mid maybe. No, no, that would not make sense. My guess is Seraphine mid. So that reveals a lot for Nazumah here on 4 and 5. Morgana comes out. So we see the champ pool here of triple mage, enchanter, bot side. They pair that with a Nocturne, and let's see if they continue to pair top or if they're just going to say, yep, take the Jax. So blind Jax here, obviously banning the Shen and the Mundo. Probably had their sights on the Jax out of bans. And we'll see what Bilgewater's answer is, and it's going to be a Malphite. It's quite strong. This is a Smolder Protect the President composition. Still haven't locked it in yet. No reason to not discuss things on the last pick. have to say the outlook on damage from Bilgewater is quite low, but it might not matter if they can just stall the game out long enough. All right. So they have locked in the pick. So go grab your drinks, go grab the snacks, whatever. We'll be back in a few minutes here. For those of you sticking around, let's get a poll going. What's the consensus here? How do people feel? I would say that Nazumah, I think the onus is on them to snowball a lead somewhere. They need to up the tempo of the game, because late game, Smolder might just do everything. I could see Jax hitting sides. Bilgewater is really low on damage, so probably pretty safe to be aggressive on sides, while Smolder's still getting to that critical level. There we go, there's a pull up. Go gamble. How do I have no points? All right, there's some points. All right. All right, looking at the side of Nazumah, obviously Jax in the top lane, Nocturne in the jungle. And then for the other three, I think it's a Ziggs Morgana bot lane and Lux mid for Debella. And then on Bilgewater's side, Catcheye on the Smolder. Let's see who plays Seraphine for them. I'm really not sure. Maybe Lone Wolf? Also not sure who's on the Amumu. Wasn't sure between all of them who would go jungle. Alright, so they're just loading in now. And then I guess there's the 3-minute delay on top of that, so Yeah, let me know if the stream is quiet. I don't know if my mic is low or anything like that. Try and fix that. Yeah, 2.5 minutes and we'll be in. Is this the first Chemtech match? Or is was the other one played earlier this week? Did not see. This is the second, okay. And we are just loading in now. Alright, here we go. All this stuff up. Alright, so yep, we've got Catshai on the Smolder,
Welcome to Summoner's
Lone
Rift.
Wolf on the Seraphine, Toph on Rakan, Amumu for Tony Top, and then Twat on the Mount.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, and Adelphi on the Ziggs, Danny on Morgana. Interesting. So just a classic 5-point from both sides, although I guess ward was dropped.
Minions
Scanner
has
was picked up. I
spawned.
don't. Yeah, I see the ward drop mid. Okay. Kyle opting to start on the red. Amumu mirroring on the bot side. So both junglers will clear up. Early game, I think, probably not a whole lot of action until the junglers kind of get 6. Obviously, that can change with but immediately Solid work by the Cooked Noodle, just completely zoning off Malphite. Trading autos and spells in mid lane, and Lone Wolf gets a little bit of a resource lead. Potion. Ooh, tower shot taken by the Jax, so. Malphite keeps walking up and just tanking those grass trades, and another tower shot taken. Oh, going for the kill. Oh! Miscalculation on the damage from the Jax. Got excited, flashed in, took another turret shot, and all of a sudden the Malphite has a kill. That is a big deal for Bilgewater. The Cooked Noodle had been building such a solid lead on health and everything, crashing a big wave, but pulled the trigger, flashing into the turret. And died for one kill. Turret shot, so. Still salvageable. Malphite still has it back. Back a big wave over the turret, but lots of damage. Heal comes out. Exhaust onto Cat's bag. And Rakan is just going to walk out of it. Heal used by Rakan. Exhaust used by Morgana. Low mana for the Ziggs right now, so even though Toph has pretty low health, kind of gotta be careful on the side of Nazumah. Crocodile just now finishing the full clear. At 411, I guess. Did not see what. Mumu has a little bit of a tough. Here comes Kyle top, and Malphite just walks out of the E, so nothing's gonna happen there. Kyle is facing the desert in front of him, so the back is pressed. Nocturne will be heading bot side. This is now pretty tough. I mean, just a single ruby crystal and a big wave. Yeah, that looks a whole lot different than it was just looking, so. The pressure is on even more on the spot side here. Seems like many things happen. Dragon is up. Both junglers are in the vicinity on camps. In mid lane, completely even. Both sides just interested in running out. Very interesting choice with the dragon up and rock hands. Let's see if blue side will bot push and capitalize on it. Neither team really electing to want to get on the dragon. The other side should really be the ones to just try and do it on spawn. Let me finagle with that real quick. Let me know if that's any better. I think that might help, but if it doesn't, let me know. Hell yeah. Alright. This game has been slow. No drag taken yet. We said in the beginning, blue side really needed to try and push an early lead. So far, the area where we thought that came from is not converting in top lane. So, obviously only minute 7, but a lot of pressure right now, I'd say. On blue side, we see level 5 on the Nocturne, level 6 on the Amumu. Don't know how close the Nocturne is to 6, but maybe on these wolves. Danny roaming up to the top lane here with the grubs coming up. So you see the proactivity on the grubs, not the dragon. Interesting choice here again, given that game timer on dragon. Tends to go faster, but also grubs on the jacks. It's gonna be nice. Malphite spots them out in the top lane. Both sides just opting to collect their first objectives. Looking at the gold in each lane, it is pretty even across the board. Tell me I was watching an LCK game and I'd believe you on the scoreboard. Maybe not with the CS, but well, it's okay. Here we go, we get a little bit of a skirmish. Nocturne ult does come out, but he's kind of alone. Jack's coming in with a big E, and oh my wombo combo, the Lux picks up a huge ult. Flash coming out from the Jax, followed up by a flash from the Malphite, but it does not matter. And all of a sudden, blue side has picked up the pace. It's all about pace. They found a play in the river. Great skirmish. They had numbers. I think it was 4v3, maybe. But just incredible counter-strike by the Jax, followed up by the Lux ult. And it's just going to take a death. Don't know if that respawn timer is worth it there. That tower is 2-0, I'd like to point out. Nonetheless, the Jax got pretty charged up economy now from that skirmish in the river, so have to start to think about how you wanna push this. Mid lane is huge. Devella is sitting on nearly 4,000 gold at minute 10. There's damage coming out from the bot lane. Ziggs is starting to hurt a little bit. Sheen Phage on the Jax, and wow, those Sheen autos are massive. So Jax has fully gone back to driver's seat. Lone Wolf now being ganked. Flash coming out, and there's the ultimate. Is the kill gonna go back to the Lux? Or the Seraphine? Yes it is. Big ult coming out, and Adelphi finds the ultimate right onto top with the binding from Danny. Calculated plays in mid and bot. The 1-for-1 trade, honestly, probably worth it here. You get the push. This probably picks up a plate. Nocturne just gonna run topside and clear. So blue side, again, picking up the pace, making plays in 2 lanes at once. Counter-strike landed, and let's see. This Jax might be able to pick up a kill here. Just keep, yep. And the movement speed from Malphite able to get him out of there. Looking at item breakpoints here, Debella is probably sitting on a lot of gold, and yes she is, 2,700. We have an item on Smolder, an item on Seraphine, and on Ziggs. My guess is that Lux will definitely have an item. Amumu is trying to get to the entries before Dragon, with Raptors coming up. Let's see. So Lux just backed, a lot of full boots. Ludens, Amp Tome. And we'll be arriving at this dragon with a lot of damage. TP advantage on the Jax here, so if things get dicey, he has a bailout card ready to go. The ult coming out, it's going to find Seraphine. Seraphine ultimately spawns, but into a spell shield, and then the Ziggs ult is going to just hook that Seraphine. Binding landed there. Wow, just so much damage coming out, and this is exactly the way that blue side needs to be playing this early game. So the dragon's gonna go over. I will point out that if this was a second dragon, it would be even more so, but the trade for the growth was made, and you know what? They're the ones who are playing the game pretty well right now, so. This Jax just continually happy to just take those grab trades. They're just short trades that are winning every time. Delphi, totally fine. And you can still see that there's just kind of, even in the spot lane with the Smolder against Ziggs, Morgana, not much damage. It's gonna change if we get to late game and the Smolder just one-shots every single member of Nazumah, but at this stage in the game, it is hard to play as Bilgewater. I have yet to see them with the full Wombo combo, with the Bilgewater, Rakanar, Malphite, like just like ship it onto everyone. A lot of times I've seen Nocturne going in, getting ulted by the Seraphine. Nocturne just spell shield, I mean that last fight, right? But they're there to fight Herald without the Smolder. So you've got no Liandry's Amumu, Archangel Seraphine, Locket, or not Locket, Redemption, Rakan. Yeah, I think that they are gonna need to get out of here. Blue Tide is just gonna go. Red team will get the Herald, but oh my god, Lux just completely melts them. Jax cleans up as well as Morgana, and just like that, it is a 4-4 none towards the side of Nazumah. Nazumah really just being in the right place at the right time and simply catching out the mistakes. Delphi, although, being flashed on. This should be a kill for Catcheye, one more auto, and a shutdown over to the Smolder, so everyone hold up. That is a massive kill over to the Smolder, who is at, just so that we're aware, 139 stacks. Objective bounties are still up, but they're actually leaving after that kill. Oh, and the biting is gonna land, and that's just a kill for Debella. Debella is 6-0-3, sitting on 2,000 gold again. That kill on Smolder though really does help. Danny a little far up, but the Amumu is electing not to pull the trigger. Probably smart, they probably don't kill fast enough. You got a drag coming up in a minute 20. It's Chemtech, that's also the soul. Chemtech soul is Chemtech soul. Not really too bad on either team. Not too great. Amumu is in this top jungle, hanging out with Jax. But no one is nearby, and in fact the Lux is closer to the Jax. If that bandage had landed, that would have been a dead Amumu. So trying to force something on the Jax top side between Amumu and Malphite. Unsuccessful. 35 seconds until drag. Amumu's gonna bag and have to run straight there. This drag is not so important, I think, if you're Bilgewater. I'd rather see Amumu maybe even go topside here. But pings come out, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a fight in the river, which is a lot more exciting anyways. Malphite does have ult, is probably going to be forced to use it here. Or, ooh, uses it after getting killed, which is unfortunate that it goes on cooldown. Jax is going to push into that top tier 2. Blue team's going to get Dragon. Atacon is almost up. This turret is going to fall, but the is that a shutdown? Don't know if that's a shutdown. Don't think it's a shutdown. That kill will go over to the Seraphine. Okay, there it is. It's a shutdown. A lot of gold onto the Seraphine. But the turret, tier 2 is also gone. Debella caught out here in mid lane though. Rakan finding the knockup, and Smolder will get another shutdown. That is a 680 gold shutdown onto Smolder. Smolder is finding all of the right kills. And all of a sudden Smolder has 2 full items. Atacon spawns in top side. 170 stacks. Adelphi caught out here. Knocked up. And that should just be another kill, and it goes on to the Seraphine. So some really good execution by Nazumah, followed up by getting caught out a few times over and over. So looking at the gold now, the richest person in the game is Catcheye on the Smolder. That is very frightening. Pig coming onto the Malphite, but he's just gonna ult out. Pings come onto the Atacon. No Malphite R. Let's see how fast Bilgewater can find this. This game probably isn't worth throwing for the Atacon, so. Let's see how much they want to contest, although this is gonna reset. And they do their job. Seraphine is just hitting the bot lane. So yeah, action forced. Going onto the Smolder, that's who they're looking for. Jax is just there, and the Luxel catches. Jax in the back lane just doing crazy work, and meanwhile the rest of Bilgewater goes down. Kyle comes out with the flash. See if they can take down this Malphite, but action is just forced from Nazumah. They do the right thing in this case. In this case again, don't lose anybody. Seraphine will continue to push in the bot lane. No teleport in that fight. Seraphine has picked up 4 kills, but was not present at that moment. What I was about to say before the engage was that because of the Seraphine push, kind of are forced to actually make something happen, and as soon as I thought that, that's when the Jax just goes right in. So another minute and 42 seconds until Soul Point for Bilgewater. 196 stacks for Smolder. So this Smolder will be online this game for sure. The team is 4k gold down. Let's see how much value full stack Smolder gives. Jax pushing into the bot lane here. No one there to match, so this turret's just going to go down for free before drag. It's going to be a good influx of cash. Jax is going to continue pushing and then backs off. That makes sense. Probably sitting on 800 gold, so probably should just stay. Smolder stuck on 2 items still here. Well, was on 2 items recently, so not really stuck, but this drag is spawning a little prematurely for a big 3-item spike, or even full stacks yet. So this is kind of the... This is probably not the best chance to make something happen, but they're going to try anyways. And look at that patience from Nazumah. Jax finding a big flank angle. They do not see him. They have no vision. Playing it slow. Let's see what happens. Look. Nazumah is playing around this Jax now. They know that there might be a big counter-strike if they walk in. Right, the Jax is found out. He goes right back into the tri-bush. This dance is crazy. Oh, so much damage comes out to the Amumu. And then the ult coming out from the Ziggs after the more Q lands. And here comes the team. Although, a lot of damage coming back out. Smolder is online now. It is a 2-for-2. Smolder still full health. Jax and Nocturne just going full steam ahead. And they get met with more damage than they thought. So that Smolder came online in the time it took for them to dance. And all of a sudden, the lead does not seem so big. Low health bars though on the side of Bilgewater. They have to be careful. Both sides will reset. Lots of gold for the Smolder, so Smolder's about to buy RFC, yep. The Smolder is a problem. Protect the Smolder, that is the name of the game, like we said in the open. And they've reached this stage, and Nazumah does not even have soul points, so... How hard does this game become for Nazumah? Bilgewater playing with a little more confidence. still definitely peel for the Smolder. Malphite going to TP in. Still, the poke is crazy from Nazumah. I think that they just play the poke, they can win. Alright, Dragon is started up by the red team. Binding is landed. They are getting so poked out and they just die! And there goes Crocodile. Ult's following. Lots of damage done, but Crocodile is still going to die. Ult coming out. The front to back is pretty good. Catcheye still full health trying to land the fuse. And it's just not enough. Too much damage from the back. From the back of Nazumah. And Jax just didn't die. Crocodile died. But the damage coming out from Ziggs, Morgana, and Lux was just insane. They do so much damage. And Amumu thinks so too. All things considered, the poke allowed that fight to happen. And I think that that might be a theme that continues no matter how strong Smolder gets. So the tide has turned on who needs to actually go in here. It used to be protect the Smolder. Now looking at the poke, if you're just going to have to take that poke all the time, then you're not going to win any fights. Baron is up. Lux with TP is going to go towards the bot side. And there's so much CC to watch out for too. CC that if it hits you, the damage is just too much. Seraphine went AP, which makes sense for the damage here. But I wonder how useful it would have been to have the W button available and doing a lot more. Malphite just jumps right into a Nocturne and a Jax. And it's gonna have to ult out, but had company in the area. Binding misses. Smolder calls mom. Nothing really happens otherwise. But no Malphite, no Smolder R. And they're gonna greed for this. They catch the Nocturne. Nocturne is just gonna go down. And that's a pick. And they're gonna keep going. Oh, but a huge Lux ult again! It just completely shreds all of Bilgewater. And the root comes out. Malphite's gonna die. Toph dives right back into it as well. A triple kill for Lux. Debella, what is that? That damage is ridiculous. What an ultimate as well. Debella's ultimates this game have made that ability look like it covers a whole entire lane. Unbelievable. Baron will be secured. A 10k gold lead has grown. What great recovery from Nazumah. Got picked a few times in the mid game, gave Smolder the opportunity, but then figured out how to fight. And it's week 1 too. Pretty impressive. Soul is going to be up for Nazumah in a minute. Realistically, they can either end off of that fight, or it's a timer until Elder. In which case they can win that fight. Alright, so they're going to try and offensively Seraphine ult. Seraphine just gets binded and then completely blown up. Malphite, or not Malphite, Rakan and Amumu, I think realize that they can't do anything even if they land the CC. Oh, and a bind. Oh, Tabella! What? Those were the tanks! Those were the tanks! They weren't supposed to just die like that. They will just push into the base. Jax picks up a double kill. I can't get that out of my head. I just watched public execution of 2 people at once. Oh my god, that ult is Alright. And that is game 1. Nazumah picks up the win. Unbelievable. Well, taking a look at the damage, Tabella, 36,000 damage in a 33-minute game. Smolder getting up there, just not enough. I've never seen a Lux do that type of damage. But really it was just damage from everywhere. So kudos to Nazumah on incredible game 1. We'll see how the draft changes. So Fearless, all of these champions are now unavailable in draft. Waiting on game 2. Some people probably taking a breather. Have this problem with Streamlabs OBS. Used to be able to do like studio mode, but it's just completely bugging on me. So I'm kind of just guessing at what's going to happen when I do this transition. So let's see. All right. There we go. So that was the game 1 draft. Again, the draft of champions not available any longer. We'll see what side is selected. I think losing team gets the choice. Or maybe not, I don't know. I'm gonna try and find a way to like Houdini these picks onto the the screen. All right. Got the new draft link. Oh, it's the same one. Okay, cool. Oh, I see. I didn't account for that. All right, so the bands are now on a different level. Yeah, we'll do it this way. I think that works. All right, that'll do. All right, so this should be set for the draft to go. Think that it will work. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, get into the draft. Same sides. Nazumah on blue, Bilgewater on red. So Jinx ban again coming out. Might see the strategy of just keeping the same bands and then picking a champion that's good to pick in game one. Knock it out for the rest. Yep, Vagar comes in. Urgot, Vi, so just a complete run back of everything. We got the Thresh. And this should be the Scion, which they might not ban this time. Might realize that it'd be better for the Cook Noodle to be on Scion than more aggressive.
But no, Zion goes. All right, so first pick comes out. It is Zyra. Zyra, that is pretty sure Danny plays that the most out of anyone there. Really annoying champion to deal with, and especially if you know how to play it, know how to position the plants. I definitely do not. But when I play against a Zyra who knows what they're doing, it's really annoying, I find. Leona comes out in response. Honestly, I think if you're Nazumah, you're pretty chill with Leona support. Probably can just do a lot of damage. Leona Jhin. Different direction from Smolder this time. See how Nazumah wants to respond. Now last time, both sides elected to ban top laners twice. And depending on champion pools, you might have to start thinking about if you want to take your top before that happens. But I think maybe both players have a big enough pool where they don't have to do that. MF comes out. That should be for Adelphi. So a lot of damage in that bot lane. MF can't really take advantage of the Leona quite as much as some other picks, but I still like it. And Wukong. Wukong really strong into the Leona. So far liking Nazumah's comp. See if Bilgewater can respond. They will. They'll take the Mundo. So exactly, they did not want to see the Mundo banned again. And the Cook Noodle now knows exactly what he's going into. So now they're going to ban Ahri. So if they take the top laner, don't ban 2 counters, which is sometimes what you see happen. I'm pretty confident that the Mundo will just do as he pleases, which is a fair enough assumption. It is the advertised way that Mundo lives. Still banning the Shen. I wonder if they think it's a Mundo jungle. Yeah, so they'll lock in the Shen ban. I actually do remember that, yes. That's a Tony ban. And then Renekton ban, so they do ban one of the matchups. And Rammus ban. Rammus would have been fun. Well, we get Trundle. So we get Mundo and Trundle. They both like to just go where they want to go. So Bilgewater playing very much a I just want to run into you comp, and they're doing it into a Wukong and a Zyra. Let's see if Nazumah picks up on what Bilgewater's trying to do and see if they draft something that works into that. I think they picked up on it because they pick up a Heimer, and that's a Dibella Heimer. So we saw Dibella Lux last game. Now we get to see the Heimer. And I think playing into Zyra and Heimer as Trundle in Mundo, I think that's going to be a tough ask. See how the game goes, though. There might be certain skirmishes early game that are winning. And then there's the Warwick for the Cook Noodle. Warwick into Mundo is, I think, a matchup that the Cook Noodle does like. I think it's pretty good, probably. And yeah, Warwick Unleashed. Yeah, no, I just wanted to get information on the screen. I whipped this up like 30 minutes before. Didn't want to just do like a screen capture thing. It's also super scuffed because I can't see what I'm editing actually in the editor. It only shows me it once I transition. Sorry to jump scare everyone with Slack notifications. Let's see if I can turn that off. And the last pick being locked in here looks like a Xerath. All right, so there's the draft. The Xerath is locked in. But yeah, what I was saying is that every time I try and edit something, I can't actually see what I did until I transition to live. So it's kind of blind. I'm rooting for Nazumah this game so that I don't have to figure out how to put the draft, the second draft in here as well. Then it's going to get really scuffed. All right, so we'll have a little bit of time to kill until we get back into live. I'm gonna go grab some water. Be right back. All right, so we are getting in to game now. That's hype. Nazumah up 1-0 so far. Pretty crazy game 1. Lots of awesome fights. Let's see what game 2 has to offer. The champions here, I think, offer a lot of fun. We're going to see lots of plants, lots of turrets, and champions that are looking to just ignore it all and just beat up that Zyra, MF, and Heimer. All right, so getting into game, both teams 5-pointed last time, and now we have a little bit of a different strategy. Red side is all together, the blue side is all together. They are looking to invade
30 seconds
against each other.
Minions spawn.
Opposite sides of the map. Look, so orderly too. I love it. They'll have the realization that the other is not there. Blue side really searching, not gonna find anyone. Ward dropped on
Minions
each
have
team's blue.
spawned.
Trundle's sticking around in that topside jungle. Seems like he's gonna start on the blue actually. Get the portraits in order. There we go. Alright, so let's see. Push coming out early here from Lone Wolf. And wow, that turret is wow, just tanking a lot of damage. Last time we saw this top lane early lead for the Jax was thrown under the turret. Let's see how different it looks now. Miss on the E by Leona, so no level 2v1 shenanigans pulled off. That Trundle is full clearing the top side of Mr. Wukong. That will be an unwelcome surprise. Well, just 2 camps, okay. Still, an unwelcome surprise. Although Wukong is wrapping around mid here. Waiting, but that's a Xerath who does not need to play that far up. But he's just gonna walk right into Wukong. Flash comes out. Flash coming out from the Wukong as well. And a stun hit by Debella. And the kill will go to Wukong. Wow, everything landing there from Debella. And the Wukong having faith, picking up the kill, and that's going to be first blood to the monkey. So Toph is going to steal those camps, but ultimately, not a lot of time wasted for the Wukong, who was able to make something happen. No flash under the turret this time by the Cook Noodle. Flash from Miss Fortune in the bot lane. It's pinged by Leona. Didn't get to see that. Wukong is going to just run back bot side. Pick up the scuttle probably.
Ah, the sweet smell of science.
And these stuns coming out from the Heimer will chunk a lot of damage. Wukong is going to pick up the scuttle, and now is looking on the bot lane. Let's see how far up Leona and Jax will go. They're going quite far, so Wukong is here. Heal coming out. Is it Duffy going to go down? Flash coming from the Jin, and the auto will take the kill. But can they escape? Wukong doing a lot, and it's going to pick up a kill onto the Leona. Trundle arrives a little too late. Jin will pick up the kill to go 1-0. Has a pretty nice farm lead built up already in the bot lane. Mid lane once again a farm fest. Alright, Debella heard me. Flash now coming out by the Cook Noodle, and that will be a kill solo bolo in the top lane. Revenge for game 1. And this Wukong is now Omega online. Going to crash this wave. TP will come out from the Mundo, but it's going to come out behind the Wukong. Wukong low mana. Half health. Let's see, there's a big wave crashing though, and this Wukong is probably going to just have to go pick it up. Meanwhile, kick coming out here. Kyle takes out the Trundle, who's invading his jungle, it seems. And Leona is just going to accept her fate. Wukong picks up the kill again. No spreading the love from Crocodile. So all things going right for Nazumah, really. No dragon picked up though. Looks like Wukong might just be going to do it now. Yep. So this Warwick has a recurve bow and a pickaxe into the giant spell. But lots of damage coming from those. Oh wow. Lots of damage coming from those bone saws. It is a Wukong though, so you gotta be careful. Even when you get Wukong low, can't finish him. Farm in the bot lane has gotten back to a more even state. And you can see that Warwick is just looking to go. Lots of damage coming out, but here comes the Trundle. And Trundle not going to be able to kill through the barrier, and I think I know who wins this. Warwick sprinting at the Trundle is just going to let him go. In the bot lane, Ignite comes out. Danny unable to find the kill there, but barrier used by the Jin. Wukong going to start up the grubs. Again, opting not to do the dragon. Trundle is waiting in ambush here. Only level 5 still, so is Crocodile. Warwick is here, and that should spell death for anyone who comes near. Toph is going to charge on in and try and ignore the Warwick. Flashes away. Kyle chasing after is able to find the kill. Warwick picks up the kill onto, and here comes everyone else. Warwick hungry for more, and Bilgewater is going to just have to completely walk away. Meanwhile, MF, who wanted no part of the fight, rightfully so, picking up a big wave, pushing it into the turret. Gold lead is at 4K at 9 minutes. And you can see where that is. Top jungle, each up over 1,500 gold respectively. Mid lane 800, bot lane pretty even. Catchfire trying to find a pick. Force shot is not going to come out, but so is the curtain call. And there goes Misfortune. No flash, no heal. On MF after that. This Warwick is... I really don't know who can kill the Warwick in this game. Lots of CC and time. And you need to make sure that you kill. I think that might have been a kill if the stun landed there. Lots of damage comes out. At this point, it's a 30 CS lead top lane. I don't have experience playing Mundo to know exactly what to do here, but I do know that if Mundo gets to like some break point, some things just don't matter, but Warwick might be one thing that matters. Counter pick. Proving useful here for the Caboodle. A lot more respectful of the turret too this game. Wukong pinging mid here. Going to ult Lone Wolf. Should get another charge here. Flash comes out, but one more Q, and that's just going to be a solo kill for the Wukong. Yeah, I think all of these short trades too are really good for Warwick. Well, the Bella is going to be found here, and it's going to have to flash away. So much damage comes back out onto Leona though, and that's kind of, I think, that's a problem for Leona this game. Protocol is going to come out. Adelphi is going to body block here for Danny, and they will be okay. But low health bars here, and you do have a Jhin who is going to flash force shot and finds the Q into W, perfectly placed to pick up the kill. 1v2. Toph coming in here in the mid lane, they're going to pillar the Wukong, shut down onto the Xerath, and things are starting to look a little better. If you are Bilgewater. As long as we don't pan top. No objectives up for 2 minutes. And is this just gonna be a solo bolo? Yeah, it is. Wukong just finds enough, and this Leona is kind of stranded up here now. 5 levels down here. Maybe this Leona just dies. No, probably not. There's enough CC. So that she definitely cannot stop the Mundo, or the Warwick from hitting the turn, that's for sure. The Bella is going to go in on Lone Wolf. Kyle wrapping around. There's a Trundle here as well, but they're just going to be able to pick up the kill. The Bella quite low though. Trundle unable to find her and is just going to die in the pursuit. Heimer picking up that one. Meanwhile, Warwick finds the Leona who is stalking him. Decides to take matters into his own hands. 7-1 Wukong, 5-0 Warwick. Objective bounties on cue. Will Nazumah be able to find a way back into this? What do you need to do if you're Nazumah? Where Is there a way to win the game? That is the question. That is the only question we're thinking about right now. You're 5k down, but it feels like a lot more with how fights have been going. No turrets ticking yet, but all your tier 1s are looking pretty grim. Dragon up in 30, Herald up in 8. This Warwick is just absolutely doing everything for free. I don't know if Mundo can come out this far. I think that Mundo needs to stay on this turret. Warwick just ulted and missed. I saw it on the mini-map. Sorry, I had to call it out. He's doing too well. Danny caught out here. Gonna flash, still get rooted. Ult comes out. MF ult on top of it. Top is taking a lot of damage here, and Wukong MF will just take him out. Kyle will go down though. As Leona goes down, but this Jhin is totally alone. They should just know that they can just walk right into the front door and kill. There goes the turret. Lone Wolf is gonna get flashed on here. Don't know if the flash was entirely necessary, but it sure does the job a few seconds quicker. And yeah, that gold lead continues to grow. Wow, the cooked noodle has over double the gold of Mundo. Yeah. MF just whittling away the turret. Dragon will be started. Zyra helps so much here on these drags. Toph trying to walk in here. They are in the river. It is a 3v4 right now. Xerath is coming to join. And there's the ult. Just going to look onto Kyle. Kyle's still waiting, trying to find a way to steal. Red side has taken it over, but they're opting not to continue the dragon. I would think it's probably best. Okay, so they will get it. Noodle going on to the Xerath. Meanwhile, Tony goes in, but they kind of get disjointed, and both of them are going to die. And just like that, more kills going over. The objective bounty is picked up. It was unfortunate there. The team went to go peel Lone Wolf a little bit from the Warwick, and that was when Tony decided to pull the trigger and go in. But yeah, that Warwick is just running right at people. So returning to the question of how do you win this game? Things coming out onto the Rift Herald. Just, you gotta find some influx of gold. Some way to reach certain strengths. I mean, yeah, this Warwick can just run at anybody right now. And if you're too far caught out from your team, it's a problem. That being said, it's also 700 gold on the Warwick. Might be able to bait him in. It's just whether you're baiting him to kill you all or collect a shutdown as a team. But these are all little chances, right? You see the ping on the bounty. Pings come onto Warwick, so they definitely are aware that Warwick represents a lot of gold. Some item breakpoints right now. Warwick at 2 full items. 1 1/2, 1 2/3 of an item on most of the rest of Nazumah. The other side, Mundo picked up a Warmogs on top of the Bramble. Triforce for Trundle. Everyone has an item. Thornmail. Yeah, so they're really just thinking about the Warwick as the main source of damage, and I do think that eventually, even if Warwick gets itemized against, as Toph gets caught out here in his own rumble.
Hop to it.
They are a little deep here, but I think that, I mean, here, right? This is the only shot. You gotta try and do something, and they're gonna go here. They're gonna go right onto the Cocoodle. Barrier comes out, and the shutdown will go onto Jin. Jin picks up a lot of gold. Curtain Call comes out. Twat is just in the front line, wailing on Crocodile. Kyle is going to flash, but I don't know if it's gonna matter. The clone comes out. Flash from Adelphi. Just out of range, so they're not gonna catch the rest of them, but Catcheye has consistently, from Game 1 and Game 2, found ways to pick up kills that are important to pick up. 8,500 gold. Meanwhile, Kyle, taking the blue, will do so, does not have to pay rent for it. So the gold lead is at 6K. Just recovered about 1,000 of that. It used to be more. So you gotta just find like 6 more plays like that. Warwick is just going to drive right in to the turret. I always expected him to just ult immediately off of that. We're gonna walk over to the Drake. It's Chemtech Soul once again. Xerath is gonna try and deal a little damage here. And Bilgewater's gonna commit to this. Toph is going in. Does not find it. MF takes out the Leona. Toph is trying to run away, but is going to be killed as well. Warwick getting a little low, but not taken down all the way. Crocodile continuing the chase. Flash coming out from the Xerath. The Mundo is going to pop ult and try and walk away. So 2 dead for Bilgewater. And they did not pick up the drag. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. But this will lead to a complete siege of bot tier 2. Nazumah are going to get out of there. My guess is they're going to run straight to Atacon. This Heimerdinger sitting on 2,000 gold. That will be a Liandry's Torment. MF's still sitting on 1 item. Catcheye is on 2.5. So Catcheye definitely does damage. It's just Jin is gonna have to find some fantastic positioning in order to deal with it. I actually think it's probably impossible to fight. It's a 5v5. I'm gonna try and pick out the Warwick here. Ult coming out, barrier pop. Good CC, and they're just gonna take out the Warwick, so that is exactly what they need to do. Jin picks up the kill once again. It's just when it's not a 5v5, they can find a pick. This Jin now has enough damage to kill a single target. And when that single target is the Warwick, then you start to think about this Atacon maybe. How do you win this game? You pick the Warwick, and then you force a fight that you can win. And take shit. I mean objectives. Crocodile is going to try and just solo bolo the Jin and going to completely be able to, no problem. That's a Wukong with a lot of kills. Ult coming out by MF, but it's a little too close to the action. She's going to be killed, shut down. It does go into Leona. Objective bounty's falling off. Toph is so close to dead. Flash by Danny, but nothing to follow up. And Toph is going to be able to walk out. That's pretty big. A lot expended there to try and get that kill. Objective bounty's still falling off. Warwick is just soloing the Atacon right now. On Vision. Muno's going to come over there and fend off for a little. Atacon is continuing the chase here. So now objective bounties are fully off. The goal lead is still above 6k. This Jin really is everything right now for Bilgewater. The good news is that Jin can create a lot of separation, hopefully from the Wukong. But when Jin doesn't, then he gets caught out, like we saw. Quickmeal going to just right click onto the Mundo once again. Deal half his health. The junglers are going to whack each other as well. It's interesting now. Looks like this Trundle is starting to do a little bit more, but they are being lured into the den of Warwick, who's out on the hunt and returning home. Warwick not going to pull the trigger. I think it's smart. You need to make sure your team is ready. It was a pretty good position, I thought, but Bilgewater is going to walk their way over to the drag. They gain full control in the river. Drag down to half health. Wukong's still far away. They're going to just rush it down. They claim the dragon, and they're going to just walk out. So Nazumah just gives up the dragon. Don't really get anything in return. And the game is drawn on. Now the pings come out. Nazumah are already on the Atacon. They're going to try and rush this down. Xerath is catching bot lane. Will TP. This Atacon is just going to be burned. It's gone. Jin, curtain call, trying to catch some. Ult coming out as well, but oh, what a great MF ult. The MF ult catches so many. It's a double kill to MF. Crocodile trying to get a second knockup. There it goes, the Cook Noodle flashing in on the Jin, ulting, pressing Q, pressing right click is just killing everyone in the back line. Crocodile's there to pick up the rest of the Xerath. And just like that, Nazumah in complete control. They get the Atacon, they pick up 4 kills, no one dies. Baron is going to go their way as well, and gold lead will expand. 10k. Yes, to clarify, there is a second noodle. This one is cooked. Well, it's been a good evening for this Warwick and Wukong. They are a combined 18, 4, and 14. Three-level lead in top lane. I know he wants to find the Horizon focus. This turret is just going to die. I don't know if Leona and Mundo can tag team the Warwick. Wukong, meanwhile, is going to find the Trundle, who is no longer able to look quite as good in the 1v1. The siege continues. Just Baron minions really hard to clear. Especially for the team comp of Bilgewater. Their wave clear is not great.
Smaller than the diagram.
In good news, though, for Bilgewater, the Warwick will stop getting stronger at some point. God, and I will say though that the Heimer will continue to get stronger in this game. Heimer does a lot of damage. Warwick is just going to go and tank and take the turret. They've broken into the base. They're going to look for a fight though here. Kind of caught out and alone. Flash is coming out. The Cook Noodle is going to get engaged on. Xerath trying to find the ult. He's going to go in, try and find a kill onto the Trundle. He does, but it's a 1-for-1. Trundle traded for the Warwick. They're going to find a route onto the MF as well. Meanwhile, in bot lane, the inhib will go down, but lots of kills. Base in shambles, though. Pings onto the Chemtech Drake. Not a soul. Right side. And it's a little late to go test it, but they've got a few problems to deal with in base. Turret does go. Mid turret just dies to minions. So there's 500 gold back to Bilgewater. To Bilgewater's credit, they've managed to draw this game out a lot longer than it could have been, and that does leave some opportunity. Is it likely, if Nazumah plays well, that they're not going to convert this? Not that likely, but just introducing a little bit of chance here and there, and then late game, death timers are really long. All of a sudden, the game can look a lot more even after one mistake, so like I said, credit on them. They've gotten it to this stage of the game. The Bella is going to have to flash away this Trundle, trying to find anything, but it's just taking so much damage. The Bella being hunted by the Xerath, who does not find the kill. Meanwhile, does find the kill. It's a shutdown. Top lane, though, Crocodile and the Cook Noodle trying to 2v3 their way through the Jin in a crazy tanky front line. They're gonna find out that maybe it was too tall a task, but Wukong will get out. But the gold lead is down from 10k to 8k. The Mundo is targeted once again. We're back in the top lane. This time Danny's here to help out. Big group coming out from the Jin. This Jin is really tying this game together right now. Baron is now going to be up in 1. So another gauntlet to stave off here if you're Bilgewater. Mundo and Trundle have been really stuck on 2.5 items for a little bit. Jin reaching full build quite soon. Warwick is also about to be full build. Yeah, at this point I think you have to, again, just start with a pick. Ship it on a lane, on a side lane, try and get a big pick, and then scramble to defend everything else. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to look at this Warwick here. Top just going in. Ult comes out. CC coming out as well. This Warwick gets a lot squishier after that and is just going to die. They're going to charge in through mid, take this inhib, and back out after that. So they trade mid inhib for the Warwick, but like I said, death timers are getting pretty long now. 50 seconds off the map. A lot of opportunity here to just try and stabilize a little bit. A little bit at a time. Farm these waves. Chemtech Soul is coming up. I think there has to be a realization though that if you hard commit to this fight and then you lose, the game is over. Even if you lose 1 or 2 people, and Tony Top is going to get caught out here, flashes away, but Kyle is going in, there's the ult, and that's just going to be a kill. So Tony Top ventures a little too far trying to get some vision. This dragon should be, the soul should be completely free. Now it is Chemtech Soul. It's not immediately game over. The conversion has not been perfectly smooth. We see Warwick just sending it straight mid. Top is going to survive. Lots of damage from the Warwick, or from the Xerath, and Warwick just dies. Objective bounties are falling off soon, and Warwick just got back on the map and is off for another minute. Chemtech Soul does go over to Nazumah, but with Warwick off the map, again, you're trying to stabilize. You bring the gold lead back to within 6k, and once you start to get up in the numbers, that distance matters a little less. And you can see that the Warwick just dies pretty fast once ulted by the Trundle. Mundo getting caught out deep into enemy territory here. He's gonna pop ult and just walk it out. So Mundo is at 3 items, Trundle is now at 3 items, and you can see that they actually feel like they're champions here. Again, really well played by Bilgewater just to be able to get here. 40 minutes into a game that looked pretty over pretty quickly into the game. It was a 4K gold lead at 9 minutes.
It's smaller
They
than
have
the
managed to
diagram.
keep it at 6 after 40 minutes. Level 18 for the Trundle. And like I said, these champions, Warwick is not going to get much stronger. That Warhammer, don't know what final item is going to be built. I think Warwick is starting to realize that the days of just running at anybody and netting a kill, they might be over. This Jin is full build. And here, the Wukong is caught. Flash by the Trundle, and Xerath will pick up the kill. Debella's gonna have to flash out as well. Gonna get hit by 2 of those, and the big blast cone comes in huge! And there's a kill over to the Jin. So, Heimerdinger's off the map, Wukong is off the map for 50 seconds. Baron coming up in a little less than a minute. This game is swinging. I think that this Baron fight is pretty much for the game right now. And I think there should be a fight. Because Bilgewater should absolutely be at this Baron. On spawn. Force Debella and Crocodile to have to scramble back. They're gonna siege mid and bot first though. Let's see what the tempo looks like. Lots of gold sitting in the pockets for Bilgewater. Toph especially pushing really far up with a lot of gold and Baron coming up. Get this back off. Oh, this is it. Here we go. 1v1 here between the Warwick and the Trundle. Trundle will catch the blast cone and get out because of that, but Warwick messes up the timing. Wukong clearing blue. You know that Trundle's gonna have to back. So here we go. Trundle running bot side. If Trundle gets spotted here at all bot side, they have got to start this Baron. There we go. You see Trundle farming away. Nazumah are scared. All of a sudden, they know that this game is not the one-sided stomp it just was. That being said, with Toph just continuing to push in bot lane, and you have your whole rest of your team up in top lane, I wouldn't even wait to bait this. I would just go start it. But they're going to go in on the Mundo. So, though, we're going to pop Ghost and just walk away. Trundle making his way towards the mid lane. And Jin's just going to get mid-tier 2. Finally, Nazumah sees that they have to go. Jin coming, though, to play it. The Cook Noodle trying to find a way into Jin. Leona is going to get chunked. Ult coming out by the Wukong. And Toph is going to go down. Leona is also going to go down. The Warwick staying alive is going to go and die to the Jin. Jin is now cutting backwards, but it's just Lone Wolf and Jin. And oh my god, Nazumah said no thank you to any talks about a game 3. Oh, but the Wukong gets picked off by the ult. No one blocked it. The curtain call is going to find one. Death timers right now are at 27 seconds for the Leona, but the rest of the team, 30 seconds until Trundle comes up. Are they just... They should just send it. They have a wave coming. It looks like maybe they don't risk it. This Jin is absolutely wrecking them. And it's just gonna tap Adelphi and kill it. Debella's gotta be careful. How does she walk out of this? She's gonna choose to go through bot lane. And Elder Dragon is up. Elder Dragon is up. You got 40 seconds on the Delphi, 10 seconds on the Wukong. Tony is just running at Debella. Trundle making his way through bot lane, Mundo coming as well, TP coming out from the Xerath. They are all pinging onto the Elder Dragon. No Adelphi on the map for 24 more seconds. Cooknoodle making his way over. Dragon has started up. All 5 members of Bilgewater are on it. It's going down fast, down to 10k HP. TP coming in from the Heimerdinger. Down to 6k HP. Danny standing by with the ultimate is going to not pop it in time, and red team will get the Elder Dragon. And with Elder buff, they're going to turn their attention to the waves for a little bit, but I think we're going to see a Baron come out here soon too. Yeah, just the team did not get there fast enough. And we finally saw a team understand to start something up right away, as soon as they could, with the other players running out of base. And they were rewarded for it. But look at this, the tempo play. They back for tempo, but they're going to lose the Baron. Oh, Debella is going to die to the ultimate and Elder Dragon. They do get the Baron though, and that's going to help a lot in continuing to stall this game out. We are on 46 minutes. We are on 46 minutes. How much longer is this going to go on? Let's find out. I honestly don't know. I don't know which side is going to win. I feel like either one of these teams can win a fight. But at least with Elder right now, this Jhin is unleashed. This Warwick was, I think, 10-2 or 10-3. Has not been able to find as much value in the late game. I've seen that he's just trying to walk at the Jhin, and that makes sense. This Jhin really is the target to kill. But Xerath is dealing damage now, Trundle is dealing a lot of damage. It's hard to kill them. And with Elder especially, this poke is crazy, and you're gonna see a flash immediately from Adelphi. Just does not even want to try and give a chance to Lone Wolf for the kill there. You see full items on pretty much everyone, except for the supports and Mundo. Mundo almost there though. And then Heimerdinger, Wukong, and Adelphi doesn't die. I'm not sure what the animation was. I thought so. Elder ran out, went down to like 1 HP. That was, I've never seen that animation or that UI. Big Top does collect the inhib, but Crocodile's left alone to deal with this, and that's just not gonna work. Everyone just abandoned Crocodile. Flash out, and Toph is gonna find a kill. There's one. Here comes the ult, and a kill is gonna come out onto the Cooknoodle. Meanwhile, Mundo pops up to try and run away. The Cooknoodle is trying to continue though. This Jhin is the #1 priority. Gonna be able to walk away. Pause the curtain call. Noodle's gonna feel the full off of a minion. And look at that. The minions are just ending. Oh, they defend! Cooknoodle's still trying to do all that he can to keep this Jhin away. The base survives, though. Trundle is a very powerful minion. But yes, I did. I saw all the Baron minions, and I honestly got confused. They defend. The turrets are down, though. They have a naked top inhib. Bot inhib is offline. So both teams now take a breather. For a 1 in 10 Trundle, that Trundle sure is doing a lot. I mean, I know it's full build. It's like, doesn't really matter at this point how your game went. We are here at the 50th minute. Mundo still on the Tiamat. Wukong still on an Executioners. So we made it to 50 minutes. There's gonna be an Elder fight, and then if that fight somehow doesn't lead to an end, there's a Baron as well. And if that doesn't lead to an end, then I guess we're going to an hour. So let's see what happens here. Imagine if we started at 10, right? All right, Toph is just running. Pillar comes out. Crocodile is gonna just W away. Heimerdinger has not been able to set up really recently at any objective, nor has Zyra, and that's a big change from earlier in the game. It's here's the ult coming out, and the Cook Noodle is going to tank a lot of damage there, not be able to collect it back. Mundo, meanwhile, is just pushing in through top. That's a now problem for Nazumah, because they do not have any Nexus turrets. They are going to find the Jhin. Are they going to pick up a kill? Yes, they are. Meanwhile, Crocodile coming and wrapping around. The ult comes out. They're going to find the Xerath. Leona is also going to go down. Trundle is going to try and solo the Elder Dragon, but it's not going to be fast enough, so they're just going to be able to take over. Meanwhile, the top lane is being pushed out by the Warwick and the Heimerdinger. They do a good job of saving off the attack. Heimer is going to TP, and Elder should just go over. Trundle is running to the bot lane. He understands that they lost that fight. They're going to lose the Baron probably. He's going to try and just run and end the game on his own. Warwick is beelining to try and stop him. It is Warwick versus the Trundle. The turrets look like they're respawning though. The timer and the turrets are back up. So Toph all of a sudden on his own. This Trundle is just trying to win the game. TP comes out. There's Elder though. Oh, it's going to come off. Not going to kill Toph. Toph is healing off the wave. And Mundo and Trundle are just trying to end the game. They're going to get through one turret. They're going to try and hit the other. They hit the turret. Then there goes the Nexus. The Nexus gets taken down. And we're going to game 3. Bilgewater pulls off the comeback. They just hit the Nexus. They whack it with Mundo. They whack it with the Trundle. And there's nothing the Warwick can do. A 52-minute banger. And victory claimed by Bilgewater. And my sleep schedule claimed as well. Oh my god. No one does it like Chemtech. That is quite true. It is. We put on a show, what can I say? We go to a crazy game 3. The Warwick did 62,000 damage. But it just wasn't enough. I feel like I had to be watching like so many different things, and then that the end there, it was the 3 and 18, no, it was the 2 and 16 top jungle who pull it out in the bottom of the 9th to send it to game 3. All right, well, now it's time for the attempt to do this live. I have faith. I think that was yeah, if you want to, yeah, feel free to hop in. I'll hop in a caster booth. Hey, hey.
Hey, I was in Flex Queue with Targon because we're warming up for our games tomorrow, and and this game I think lasted from before that to after.
That makes sense. Yeah, I honestly I appreciate it. Um, it is nice to it is nice to know that I'll have a partner for game 3. This has been a crazy series, and my voice is also feeling it.
I was wondering because I didn't get to watch it. I was wondering how you were surviving by yourself. Uh, but like talking to yourself for 50 minutes about a game, but at least you survived and you're out now.
Exactly. No, they at least it's at least there is a lot going on in this bracket
At
at
least
all
they're not boring
moments,
games.
no matter if there actually should be or not, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch. So I will say that. But yeah, I'll no, I'll let you riff for a little bit. I'm gonna work on the on the overlay for a second.
I was only able to catch the end of that game. I think the Mundo like looked like a monster, to be honest, at the end, just with the way that no one was able to actually match him. It makes me wonder going into these next games if that's kind of the playstyle they're going to lean into. I didn't catch a lot of the first game, so maybe that's what they've done in the past. But I would imagine that if Toph wants to play around that, he'd go like an earlier game jungler, and then he just path top the whole game. But I'm not entirely sure if that would be their plan. And I think that Nazumah just looked really, really good in team fights when they did get those 5v5s down. So it is if they keep getting in those 5v5s, is Bilgewater going to be able to take them down or be able to delay them long enough while they look for those split pushes? And I think also these comps looked like they were lower damage with the ADCs, but that means the lower damage ADCs are just out of the game now. So I think we're going to see some very high action right now in this last game, most likely, especially because the slow characters like Zyra and Heimerdinger are also out.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we get to a game 3 fearless, which is always fun, um, and I think that we're gonna. I mean, I hope we see some really fun picks here. I'm trying to think. DeBella, I know, being plays a lot of stuff, but mostly the top 3 for me would be Lux, Heimer, and Veigar, and they banned Veigar every game. She played Lux game 1, Heimer game 2, so now we get to go on to that 4th option. I mean, similarly, we get to see. I think that Warwick was a pocket pick, so there's still a lot of options for the Cook Noodle in top lane. But yeah, I'm excited to see what each side opts to do here. And also, you got to think it's 11:20 p.m. At a certain point, you just kind of want to go all out and either win or lose the game at a certain point. So I wonder if we'll see something reflecting that as well.
I would imagine so, especially, and I think people had to go, if I remember right. Like people weren't able to stay up, so I think this last one might be a lot shorter on purpose.
We are going to flip a coin for side selection. Um, let me pull this up real fast. Does someone call it? I need a little bit of guidance on that. so Nazumah are going to call heads. Here we go. One flip for all the marbles. And there is the flip. And it is heads. So Nazumah, y'all get side selection. Let me know. I guess y'all create a draft for what works for that. And the magic is done. The overlay has been successfully updated. I think we should just continue to add things to it. Just like, I don't, useless things now.
Need to have the post games on the screen or on the screen too.
Yeah. I've got an idea.
I do actually think it is quite a good idea for them to take red, just to, switch it up, make sure they can get this win. But they were honestly so far ahead on blue. I wonder if it'd honestly just be fine for them to just take the same side again, run it again, and then try to execute the late game better.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. They decide to go red. I do wonder. They had counter pick and top, but only because Bilgewater decided to take the Mundo early, and I think that they really did enjoy having that counter pick. So maybe the Cook Noodle requested it again. Who knows? We do get to see Bilgewater pick on blue side for the first time. Be interesting to see what is prioritized in that, if the bans change at all.
Honestly, this late in this kind of matchup here, I don't think they were going into it with the expectations it would last this long. So I would imagine they're just going to run with the same bans again because they don't want to think about it. And honestly, maybe reserving some brain power at this point would not be that bad of an idea because, I mean, we're getting later into the night. But on top of that, I think that when you're expecting a series like this to be a little bit shorter, you just have to do things as the time goes on. And you really want to be thinking about the game, about the matchups and stuff like that. And people, I think, are probably a bit low on energy at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point you kind of go back to a lot of time you see comfort picked. You just see things that that in your lane you can just get a win with, that you don't have to think really hard about. But at the same time, we do have two mid laners who seem very content to just play champions that really don't interact until late game. So that's always at odds with that. But no, I'm ready. Hope our teams can cook something spicy for our last game. There's 52-minute bangers. There's also like 25-minute bangers. Just really, really like fun, fast-paced gameplay.
I do think this is definitely going to be a shorter one.
maybe
Hopefully,
maybe we're jinxing it. I wish nothing into existence, only joy and happiness.
I'm a little bit. I think that both teams actually might be a little bit scared now after last game because it was just so long and there was a lot of close moments where I think both teams would have had an opportunity to close out. So now maybe going to this last game, like they're going to play super careful because they don't want to give the other team those opportunities again. And then I don't think this one will go longer, but there is a chance that it also lasts quite a long time. We may need more spinning cats, I think, if we have to wait for draft.
I think you're right. I think I'm gonna create a script that's just gonna add one every minute that we How do we feel about dogs?
Are they spinning?
That is a great question.
We need to keep the spinning animal theme going on here, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can do that.
After 30 minutes, we start adding cats every minute. And if the cats cover the screen, that means the cats win.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right.
We are still waiting for draft. I think the players had to go do some things. Oh, we may be getting into the draft now pretty shortly. Looks like everyone is back, I believe.
It's that time where I pretend that this is game 5 of the LCS finals. When in reality it is game 3 of Chemtech week 1, Boost Bash 16.
Honestly, the first 4 games of some of those might have been a shorter time. This is more than Silver Scrapes. This is Super Silver Scrapes.
Yeah. We're in that sleep deprivation, exhaustion, Silver Scrapes.
We're in gray scratching at this point. Are all the players back? I thought we were ready pretty shortly.
That is a good question. I'll get a check in. All right, I guess we'll yeah. We'll see. All right.
Okay, now we're ready. Are they getting into draft now?
I do not see it updated on my side. I do see the teams have changed. Sides, at least. All right, there it goes. Draft has
There we go.
begun.
Okay. I imagine the bands. Oh. Was Vagar banned last time?
Yeah, Vagar has been banned every game.
Okay, that makes sense. I think, especially at this point, after that last game, you really don't want a scaling champion like Vagar in the game.
Yeah, it's the final piece of the Trinity Force of Debella's champ pool. So they do not want to see all three in 3 games, I think.
See, Jinx ban.
Yep, that also, this has all been the same as it has been all games so far.
It's interesting they're banning Jinx. It's like one of those champions that a lot of teams will first pick and then play around if they're able to. But so I imagine that Nazumah has a monster Jinx or something where he knows all the matchups very, very well.
Yeah, I think for Bilgewater, I think Cat Shy definitely is a big Jinx player and also has been consistently the one kind of keeping them in games in the first 2. So if that's the best champion, that makes sense to get it out of there. And I agree. On blue side, it's really easy to pick B1 and just shape a draft around it. So Urgot's new, and so is Ari.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really interesting. I don't know what they could be playing around though there for those 2 bands. I don't feel like those are normal counter picks that you're looking for. So maybe they're trying to avoid certain comp styles or something.
Yeah, I think. Well, I know that for Debella, once you take away those 2 champions plus the Ari as well, you kind of get a better idea of what she might pick. Just starts to squeeze a little bit more, but still think that she has a lot of options. And then meanwhile, yeah, I think, I guess actually, okay, so Urgot has been banned every game. Okay.
That makes sense. So are these bans the same besides the Ari?
Yes, there's usually a Scion band instead of the Ari, but they went with the Ari this game instead, and Swain's going to be our B1.
Really? Okay, so Swain, interesting to open with. Swain's normally a champion you want the other teams to walk into on. So see how Nazumah plays around it. They could play something sort of longer range to see how to deal with it. But at the same time, if they're wanting to play Scion really bad, that Swain pick would be pretty good into it.
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing. It makes sense to ban the Ari then if you know you're going to play the Swain.
Ooh, Sivir. I think Sivir is a very, very good pick here, most likely. Just with the length of the last game, but also with the Swain as well. He can struggle into teams with high move speed, and she's pretty safe in lane, especially with being able to get prio and everything, stop him from making plays on the map. So I think this is a very, very solid pick here.
Let's see what gets paired up with it. I wonder if they're going to go support here. Not sure if I'm not sure if Lone Wolf plays Swain mid or if they're gonna send it to the bot lane. But Soraka. So we see Sivir Soraka into the Swain. Might be here for a while again. I don't know.
I think the Sivir Soraka makes a lot of sense. If you're assuming the Swain is bot, he's just not going to be able to make plays into them. They're going to scale very, very well into the late game. However, if we're going to see a Swain flex here to any other lane, Sivir Soraka is pretty short range and can struggle into a lot of poke bot lanes and even like certain engage supports. Like Nautilus can work okay into Soraka. Okay, the Xayah lock in. Bilgewater is leaning really, really heavily into a team that wants to disengage right now. If Nazumah doesn't go engage, I think that they might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that the Soraka pick actually is quite nice to have for no matter how you want to shape the draft. You don't commit to something that's just going to go in. So far, like you said, you have Swain, you have Xayah, you have champions that want the other team to come into you, and Malzahar as well. But no engage picked yet, other than Sivir R to at least run it. But yeah, no hard engage on the side of Nazumah yet, and maybe they can get away with just continuing to pick away from that.
If Nazumah wants here, they would be able to do something cool like pick Scion on 3, ban the Scion counters, and then pick any long range mid on 4, and their comp would look very, very strong, just very difficult to walk into. You're going to outrange the enemy team comp. Zac, I think, is also a pretty good pick. Interesting to pick Zac here if you're going to lock a tank and then not do Scion. But I think, like, I'm pretty sure it's just going to end up being the jungle. So like that might make it more difficult to lock a Scion with it, because Zac Scion can struggle working with each other sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it might have been recognition that, okay, they picked the Swain, they picked the Xayah, not necessarily looking like a game that even a good Scion will want to play. So maybe they go for the jungle here and start to brainstorm some ideas for a counter pick top that's going to hard stop.
Yeah, I agree. I would be surprised if Nazumah doesn't go like just a very solid all around mid here on 4, and then look to round it out with maybe a bruiser top. But I think that they definitely should not be leaning into the engage playstyle at all. I think that like even the things they're banning, I think they should most likely be banning things that like to engage, just because they have the range advantage and the playstyle advantage, I think, right now. So I kind of struggle to understand how Bilgewater is going to be able to get close enough. Like maybe we see a Shen here, or not a Shen, a Nautilus.
Yeah, that's a good question. Tony has been playing support, so I'm not sure. I think maybe Nautilus is a pick. I'm not too sure.
That would mean the Swain has to go top though, and that could leave him open to very serious counter picks. Orianna is such a good pick here.
Orianna's very solid, yeah.
I mean, oh my god, I really like Nazumah's draft. They have 2 winning lanes so far. The Orianna is just going to be so strong paired with that Zac. The Soraka is going to be able to sustain the backline very, very well. So even if Bilgewater does end up going something hard engage here, you have to engage through the Soraka, which will be a problem. I also think Udyr is a good pick though.
Udyr Cho'Gath.
Interesting. Okay. I think Udyr offers a little something, because that means Sivir is going to have to do a lot of damage to you. And if Sivir isn't really autoing throughout the entire fight, then Udyr might kind of be unstoppable. But the thing is, he's going to have to get pretty strong in this game, I think, to be a contender. And with the rest of his team, he's kind of going to be, in the end, I think, a weird engage. I don't see another way for them to try to get into the enemy team besides Udyr just running in.
Yeah, it's a good point. Oh, interesting. Yone. Yone is the answer to Cho'Gath.
Was that locked?
I think it might be. It usually hovers on this indicator even after they lock it in. Yeah, it's locked. So they are going to play Yone. That's I think that very much is just give me this champion, let me cook type of pick.
I can see it. I do think it makes their side laning strong. Oh, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, kind of, because they have this core of 4, which is difficult to engage on. And Zach can play the side lane pretty well around Yone, so maybe that's their idea. Have a core of 4, make sure they don't die, and then have Yone side laning be unstoppable. I think the issue they may run into, though, is if they run into 5v5s or they're not coordinated. You may run into the problem where Yone is going to have to run into that team, and he really does not want to be running at any of them at any point in the game. Even if he finds a good flank, there's really no one that he wants to get on. Like, Malzahar would be the best target, but if Malzahar is your best target to dive, I think you're going to run into a lot of problems.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of kind of awkwardness in these fights. I think that Nazumah has to recognize that they don't have to engage. I think you've got between first person who goes in gets Malzahar ulted, Xayah can just ult immediately. Swain ult means that your team's not going to want to be all up in Bilgewater's face. And there's just a lot of awkwardness that you kind of have to wait around, and you don't want to hard commit at any point, really. So we'll see how the game script develops. If Yone is just going to be this kind of monster side laner that is going to force attention away from, like you said, the core 4. But I do think that there are a lot of ways that this game can go, especially in Chemtech. I think every game can go a lot of ways. So we'll see if any of this comes to fruition or what exactly happens. But I'm excited to get into game 3 and get going.
We got a 60-minute banger coming up.
I'm going to start charging overtime.
I think Bilgewater, if they're able to find a good engage with good off angles, or if they get to objectives first, they're going to be very, very hard to dislodge. I was expecting Nazumah to go something like, a more peel heavy top laner, or even like a longer range top laner. Like I think something like Gnar, where you can peel, but also you're not completely useless in the neutral. And I think the neutral is going to be a really big deal this game. Both the teams are most likely just going to be looking at each other for a long time. And if they're unable to find any ways to to actually engage, I think that Bilgewater actually kind of has an advantage if they get to objectives first, because Nazumah kind of lacks that neutral stance where they're winning the neutral game really hard, because they actually kind of want the engage too with the Soraka, because if the enemy team doesn't engage on them, Soraka's just going to be killing herself slowly. She's not going to be getting the Qs down, and the Swain's just going to be fishing for ease, and if he ever lands one, there's their engage.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that you're playing against a Malzahar. The neutral is just going to be a little more desperate and scrambling around if you're Nazumah. And on top of that, they have dropped Drakes in the first 2 games that were really theirs if they wanted it, and first Drake was not taken for a while. So if Bilgewater have a game plan around that, and Nazumah continues to ignore those Drakes, maybe that's just their philosophy is to play for tempo and then play for grubs or something like that. But Bilgewater might be able to develop the game from the get-go in a way that they want. So yeah, I think both sides have routes to victory. They want to do something specific. Bilgewater, they're the ones who, last game it was Nazumah who needed to set the game script. This game, I think that Bilgewater is the one that wants to get out to an early lead, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be interesting to see the late game fights. You have like the Cho'Gath Udyr front line with the Swain in the middle, and maybe they can do something with that. But Nazumah, if they get into the late game and that Yone is able to split push with all of his crit and items built in the late game, I think that they could run into problems stopping him. Like, I don't think the Cho'Gath will ever be able to. Honestly, in the late game, Cho'Gath and Udyr might not even be able to 1v2 him. But at the same time, in an even 5v5, if Xayah is strong, she does outrange Sivir by a little bit, I believe. And she's just going to be able to get a lot of AoE. So if Nazumah is going down, like let's say they coordinate a Zac Oriol and they're trying to, find the back line, that kind of good stuff, there's a very, very likely chance that could actually bait their team into trying to engage on the Xayah, and then you have a huge pull. You have the Swain ult ticking. Someone like if the Yone engages something, he gets Mal's ulted. I think that would be really interesting to see. I have a feeling, though, that this game around 30 minutes will probably be decided just because of, honestly, just because of the ADCs. I think both teams really need their ADCs to be very strong at that point in the game. And if either of them aren't, then I think the game is probably just going to end.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good analysis. And I will say that for Bilgewater, Cat's Cat Shy, the ADC, has really been consistently kind of doing a good job, even if the rest of the team is struggling to bridge together to the late game. And I think if you have a good performance here on Xayah, this is kind of exactly the type of Xayah game you want to be going into. I do think that there are certain skirmishes, certain like 3v3s and 2v2s that Nazumah are going to really like to play, especially with Soraka and Zac. They just are going to have to find those moments and take advantage of them before they get to a point where they have to play in this kind of more objective to objective manner like they did last game and ultimately give Bilgewater the type of game that they want to play.
I actually didn't even think of this either. If it was just Soraka or Zac, it would feel okay for Nazumah, but with both of them, I think anti-heal very early is so much gold value. I mean, into the Soraka, obviously it's going to be strong for lane, so maybe like Xayah or Swain could build it, most likely the Swain. But even in the jungle, if Udyr just builds anti-heal pretty early into this game, I could see a world where he is able to impact the map, and every fight he is at is a winning fight, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, even to the Yone as well, there's a lot of value here for anti-heal. And sometimes people say that if you take anti-heal into Soraka, she can just, wait to press the button until after that. But if you're forcing that kind of game plan and forcing Nazumah at 12 a.m. to have to think about when to press the heal button and all of that, I think that it might be actually winning the mental warfare as well.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really notice this in draft because I think Cho'Gath can build Heartsteel and Udyr can go AD. But if they don't decide to do that, and the Heartsteel won't be enough AD by itself anyway, most likely, you're going to have a situation now where Spirit Visage is very, very good on both Zac and Soraka. And even with the healing reduction, I think that might balance itself out because I don't know how much Xayah is actually going to be able to auto. I think a lot of this game is going to be her peeling, most likely the Zac and Yone. And if she's unable to find a lot of autos, then the rest of her team might not be able to make it through a bunch of MR.
Yeah, it is interesting how these fights will play out depending on where those fights are happening. If Zac is the one who's going in, if Yone finds a pick. Whatever it is, I think you're right. Xayah is going to be playing a game of just dodging as much as possible for as long as possible and hoping to find just enough space to get 3 autos in and a pullback, and then hopefully the rest happens from there. Getting into game now. Game 3. This has been an exciting series. Let's see who takes home the victory.
It's going to be a 50-minute game, and at 45 minutes, we're going to get spectator bug.
And then I will be going to bed. We'll be talking about who won tomorrow.
See if we see anything interesting level 1 here. I think it's pretty unlikely. Oh, it's very likely, actually. It looks like they're wanting to do something maybe with the Swain E. I think both teams, though, they kind of want a stable game for their ADC, but I suppose if you're able to get the Xayah ahead early, it's going to feel very good.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you get the Xayah ahead early, the game becomes a lot more easy for Bilgewater to play early as well. I mean, I know that makes a lot of sense, but their game plan is going to revolve around bot.
Oh.
There's the flash, and it's going to be a flash for flash trade on these supports.
I think that might be high impact if the Udyr paths down, which I think he should, but I believe his bottom to top is technically faster. Also, he is going PTA, so I wonder if he is actually going AD instead, which I think would make sense in the game, but I believe that build is a bit squishier than the AP build. So I wonder if he's going to want to find more off angles or if he thinks Cho'Gath and Swain is going to be enough.
There can be no unity.
Some cheese coming out here from the Xayah and the Swain. I wonder if Xayah starts W level 1 if they're doing this. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh, big hit onto W. Yeah. that was Q start.
I think that is actually, this might be a really good reflection of how this bot lane's going to go. Oh, another E landed very well.
Oh, and that is so huge in this level 1 right now.
If the Sivir and Soraka do not take control of these bushes, Swain's going to be able to just hang out there the whole game. And I don't know if they're going to be able to... Oh, a big fight here top lane, though. It looks like Cho'Gath is going to get a huge chunk out of him, and he might have to recall now.
Yeah.
He's going to try to stay. He might get dove, actually, here at level 2.
Yeah, so we've seen this now 3 games in a row. The Cook Noodle just pushing an advantage from early on in the lane.
I think it would make a lot of sense if the Zac is wanting to go top, but I think he's trying to do some kind of a like A camp. No. He did not know his top side was gone, actually. Oh, huge fight here in the bot lane. No, looks like Sivir might go down. Nope, she is able to get away, but barrier is blown on both sides.
Barrier on both sides. Just really good execution on pullbacks from both support and ADC. That kind of works perfectly together.
I think Swain is going to really, really enjoy not having to worry about barrier, because if that wave is ever pushed away from the Sivir and they're able to find that long lane, I don't like one exhaust on Sivir and she might just die. I don't know if she's going to be able to survive on her own, because even with flash, Swain is likely going to be able to follow, or Xayah can with her own flash.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the pressure is mounting. Meanwhile, top lane, we're going to see the gank come up with a huge Cho'Gath Q to allow him to just walk it out. It's pretty big there to waste the time. No, he's going to have to flash away.
Oh, I think this is going to be... I think this kind of happened last game too, where it's kind of bot lane versus top lane. But I think because of the Zac's pathing and how good he is at ganking, I think they might be able to just dive the Cho'Gath as time goes on here. And I don't think they'll ever be able to actually dive the Soraka Sivir, because it is just a safer lane. So I think we might be seeing a bit of an advantage here for Bilgewater.
I guess the question is, who can convert, right? Xayah up 15 CS, Yone up 11, 10. Who is going to be able to run the game with a lead? The Yone on side, or the Xayah in these bot river fights early?
So I have not seen Catshai play too much yet, but I do know this would be a lot of pressure to have to auto. And you would need very, very good micro, I think, in these fights to do it not only safely, but also just making sure that you're min-maxing the attack times and everything. So if he's able to do it in the team fights, I'd be very impressed. When you're a Yone in side lane and you just see the enemy and you win the 1v1 really hard and you see that your team is not fighting, you can just keep pushing over and over again. I think that playstyle is really simple. And if he's ever able to 1v2 here, I don't know if we're going to see a way to stop him, because I think Toph is just on Udyr. He might struggle to kill him.
There we go. That's the knock-up. And the flash is going to have to come out there from the Cho'Gath.
I would imagine that's going to be very, very impactful here in just a second too, because the Zac is pathing up and then the Cho'Gath's going to have to teleport back top. And I assume we're going to see a match from Yone. He's going to have, more health and item, everything like that. And then if Cho'Gath dies on that timer, he's going to miss like 3 waves and it's going to be unplayable for him.
Yeah, in game 1, the Cook Noodle had a really, really great level 1 and then flashed under turret and just died. And saw that lead go away and eventually made it back into a dominant state again. But since that point, I think that he's realized just play these advantages over time. They're going to convert eventually. They're not going to get weaker. Zac is back.
Oh, here it is. They're not going to be able to find anything, though. He keeps landing really, very, very good knockups, but also the silence is going to make it hard for them to continue. Oh, it looks like Udyr is going for a counter gank here. I don't think he's going to find anything, though. They are chasing a Zac on her turret.
Yeah, directed camera is enjoying a nice view of the bot lane push.
We are enjoying watching the minions.
It's okay, everyone should be looking at the minimap anyways.
Looks like Udyr is going to look in the top jungle again. Remember, level 1, he did take the red. Or very early on he did, so he's trying to take it again, but Zac is going to find him. And Yone sees this happening on the map, and he's level 6, so he's going to be able to collapse on this.
Yeah, no ult available for Yone, but Debella should be there. Debella got caught with the wave, so she's actually going to be later than the Malzahar. This is actually going to be mid-move first for Bilgewater. Zac passive is popped, and it just looks like Zac is going to be taken down. Malzahar here as well. Flash going on, the ult as well. 2 flashes pick up a kill onto the Yone, and just like that, top jungle are dead for the side of Nazumah.
That's going to feel devastating for them. I mean, they want to play around this top side, right? They're pathing up. They need the Yone to be strong right now, and they have a weak side bot lane that's very hard to gank for. And all of a sudden, your bot is losing, and now your top is... He's not losing, but the game just became so much harder for him. And the Zac's top jungle is probably going to permanently be gone now because the Udyr has all the timers and is probably going to have top vision for a while. So you have to wonder, what is Crocodile going to do? Or Crocodile?
Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of credit there to the Malzahar. Just played the lane in a state that allowed first move in the most important moment in the game so far, and it's just the small things like that that enable the direction towards victory. We thought it would be through bot side on Bilgewater's side, but they have a 30 CS lead there as well, but they're picking up skirmish kills on the top side at the same time.
This game is already looking really hard. We have a 1.5k gold lead at 9 minutes. But I think that if they don't play clean macro in the next like 5 minutes here, the game can become unsteady really easily. There is still a Yone in the game. You know, the skirmishing with Zac and Ori is very strong, so they could still find a good neutral objective to play for. But they have to be able to get to the neutral objectives and stay strong for them. And I don't know if they're able to do that. Like right now, Soraka's going to go down, getting hit by the Swainy.
The auto minion. And Zac's gonna come in here, ult popped by the Swain, and yeah, that's just gonna have to force them out, but the pullback happens. I guess Swain's just fine to sit here actually. Takes a turret shot. And then here comes Crocodile again, ult comes out, pullback misses everyone. Everyone is just using everything.
So this is certainly not a stable game.
No.
And somehow, through all of that, Bilgewater managed to get 500 gold in a lead. So I guess it's good for them somehow. I don't know how, but something happened on the map somewhere. Noodle needs to get an advantage here. I mean, this is so much pressure right now. If he's unable to kill the Cho'Gath right now, I mean, they don't really have a way to win. The Sivirt's going to be pretty far back here. Behind the Xayah. The Xayah is just going to be very strong. The Xayah is being strong-sided by Udyr most of the time here. And the Ori just doesn't really have everything in her kit to be able to one-shot things like Udyr and Swain. So you just need to play for this Yone. But the problem is the Cho'Gath is playing very, very well. He's knocking people up. His silences are well-timed. And on top of that, his wave state is normally pretty safe for him. So I don't know how you punish... I don't know how you punish him here.
Yeah, I think he was able to survive specifically 2 ganks without really blowing anything because of just really well-placed keys. And picking up a kill as well in the skirmish just allowed for a little bit more stabilization at top than on the other side for bot side for Nazumah. They have not been able to find that stabilization at all.
It looks like Zac is going to look for Gromp here. Maybe they're going to look for a dive on this next wave. No, they're not going to be able to. Zac is a little bit... I don't know if he knows what the Udyr is doing. I think he's going to know in a second here because of that pink. But the Zac is now going to be permanently stuck on this side of the map, most likely. Which means that once Malzahar has Pria, like in moments like this, there could be 4 bot here in a moment.
Yep.
And even though Sivir Soraka is hard to dive, I don't think they can actually survive all this.
I agree. I think that they should just be able to send it. Maybe if you, maybe with Malzahar it's easier, and tanking some turret shots isn't the best to be able to do it. So Udir's just gonna back, but down the road, you got to think that Xayah can pick up tank a few shots, then ult, and then allow Udir to just do the rest. They can probably grab a double kill at any point, especially in Malzahar rooms.
Zach feels devastated right now. He just did the enemy Gromp, and then I believe he thought his bot wave was still up. Or no, he went mid to try to stop the Malzahar from hitting turret, and then thought his blue was still up. Realized it wasn't there and just had the back in the bush. So he spent about 2 minutes, and the only thing he got done was basically Gromp. And now his top laner has to flash away from the Udyr, which is normally what he wants to be. He wants to be the one top.
Yep, and they're gonna meet again. This time, let's see how it goes.
Udyr's on a huge power spike here. I'd be surprised if Zach even fights. Oh, he's going for it. It doesn't look like he got it. Udyr is able to get the smite, and then Udyr's just hitting him so hard. Udyr is on full Shojin right now. He's trying to chase Zach away. Zach R's, but it doesn't look like he's able to get away. He's popped into passive. The Ori is racing up here, but Malzahar is going to get here first, and it's not going to matter anyway. Zach is solo killed on his red buff, which feels so bad now because earlier he lost his bot side, and now he's going to lose his top side, and he doesn't have a lane to gank right now.
Yeah, and you can see pings coming up top here, and this is exactly what happens. The map has just been completely cracked open, and that Q lands, flash coming out. Udyr doesn't care that turret is hitting him. It is just complete devastation in the top lane.
Oh man, this game just got so hard. I feel like now, with the way that that's going top now, you want to get Yone in as good of a position as possible somehow. Maybe look for a lane swap into something that's perhaps a little bit more favorable. See if you can like get the support up there, maybe ward for him very well. Don't fight any objectives, just try to get farm on everyone. But the gold lead is not slowing down. It's 3.5k now, and it's only been 5 minutes since it was 1.5k. So they have to stabilize the game here, but they don't even have anywhere to stabilize from. The only person right now who's even able to play really is the Orianna. But Orianna's unable to hold the prio right now because if Udyr is ever near mid, then it takes one Malzahar and then she's instantly dead.
Yeah, if there's one saving grace right now for Nazumah, it's that last game they had a 4k gold lead at 9 minutes. And that game went 52 minutes and then they lost it. So, you know, they could they could be in a better position, they could be in a worse position, and Bilgewater won from a worse position, so the marathon begins.
Maybe it's all calculated. This is actually paid back for last game. I mean, at least Zach is able, I think he just got Gromp there. He's able to get a camp. He's trying to get some gold on him, and he's going a build right now, which you definitely want gold on. I don't, they're trying to do something top here. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this because Yone is already so far behind, and he might be able to get out anyway.
Yeah, he did miss 2 Qs here. He's gonna have to Q3 out, but gets yoinked right back into the jaws of the Bilgewater.
That is good for them. I think having to use so much on that feels a little bit bad though. Like you're out Swain ult and Swain exhaust. And I think that Yone can't really survive long anyway. And I think Swain, from my view, I think it would be really good right now to get that vision over topside right now to make sure that Zach can never play the game again. And then Yone's going to get dove eventually anyway. But I think that this is a very good play as it is, because now the Yone is basically forever out of the game. His turret is down. There's going to be 2 waves crashing now. He's going to be locked out, and they're going to lose the topside Rift Herald, which and they're strong siding top, so they're going to lose the objective that they're playing for the whole game.
Yeah, I think that there's really one thing here that is going to need to happen is if they just go full commit on this drag, because obviously they know that the tempo is kind of messed up right now with the Herald being done, but yeah, it looks like they're just going to try and send it here, and I think that this is really their Hail Mary. Look at
I love this play. What a very, very strong play. They're going to be able to find at least Udyr here. He's instantly dead.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to chase Xayah out, but they get the shutdown onto Orianna, which is a great person to have it on at this stage in the game. Very stable, high farm, and they're able to get this drag. So they get the bounty. I really like their position all of a sudden in the game. They're not winning by any means, but all of a sudden they stabilized 4 people on their team, basically. They're able to farm now, and they're feeling a lot safer. So it is a 3.5k gold lead, but they can now farm safely in the long lanes. So I think Yon is going to be able to now scale up a little bit safer than he could before.
Yeah, it's an additional 5 minutes until Elder. On top of that, they got 1,300 gold in bounties from that point.
That is a pretty big gold swing. I mean, and the gold difference is actually shrinking even more. It's now only 3k. I didn't see the wave states and stuff like that, but it looks like they're able to collect enough. They're not only shrinking the difference, but they're also making sure that that soul point is going to come later, so they're able to delay the game even longer and just play it out.
Did they not catch the memo about the sub 30 thing? I don't know. I guess it's the script is just a repeat. Well,
They may have caught the memo, actually. Swain is going to try to do something mid here, is unable to find anything, but Rift Herald gets that first tower, almost gets the second one, and they're able to get Zac. Although Yon's trying to make up the difference here in top lane. He's trying to do a scrap here with Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath misses the Q. Looks like Yon's going to be able to turn it here, and he wins the 1v1. He gets a shutdown in the top lane, and he's going to be able to probably get this turret, and then he might be winning side all of a sudden. He went from being ganked a bunch, losing 2 fights on his red buff, and all of a sudden he's strong enough to 1v1 Cho'Gath in side lane. And not only that, now he might need 2 people to match him, which is going to slow down the tempo so much on the map. I don't know if Bilgewater is going to be able to find an angle here.
Yeah, this top turret going down actually opens up a lot for Nazumah. This Yone now has so much utility across the map. Can either continue to push in the side, the longer side, can go and try and hit that bot tier 1. Just this game all of a sudden, if you're sitting thinking as Nazumah, you think to yourself, hey, we've got ourselves in a place that is quite a lot better than it was just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you look at Yon, just like his view on this game, 3 people into him are building health items, and the 2 people that aren't are Malzahar and Xayah, and they're not very good in side lane. It's not like other mages where Malzahar can just, clear waves over and over again. He has to walk up, he has to try to do something, but if he walks up into a strong Yon, he could just die, and he's going to be stuck in the long lane anyway, and if anyone else tries to match, they all die to Yon.
Now we get to play a little bit more neutral. We have 2+ minutes until we get to see Dragon. Yone is going back to top lane again. Malzahar is there this time.
I think it is very likely here that Yon looks to make a play in the long lane. If he's able to kill anybody, then the pressure on the map is completely relieved, and he's going to get a little bit of gold. Like right now, if he sees Mel's walking up, he might try to go for him, which in this case would be a mistake because the Xayah and the Swain are off the map, and Udyr is also heading up. It looks like Yon's in a 1v4 situation here.
And it looks like he is going to be quite cornered here. And at the same time, look where Adicon is. Things were onto Adicon, but they're going to find possibly a pick to get before it. The pullback comes out, and just Xayah picking up the kill. Catcheye now 2-0, 2 items, really in a favorable position at this stage in the game. They're gonna try and pick up mid-tier 1.
Oh.
Ooh. There goes Seraphine ult. Try and save Kyle. He will be fine with the passive, but passive is popped and Adicon goes down.
I think that feels really bad because they at least wanted that mid turret for Otacon. They might have been able to make a play top there, with Ori TP. They have Zac there, they have the combo, and then the debuff from Otacon. But then again, if you lose that fight, you kind of just lose the whole game. So maybe they're just accepting that they just get mid turret, and then they don't even get that. So I think that's really demotivating. But whatever the enemy team does, they really still can't take away the fact that Yon is going to be strong in the long lane, even if he dies there. And at least his team is still able to farm. They're still able to play stably, which wasn't true 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, definitely. This fight feels even just semi-playable for Nazumah. They definitely, with the Orianna and the Zac and the Soraka, I think that they have a good shot of pulling off a team fight if they can find the angle. But no, they're just gonna back off. They just don't have the damage right now. Sivir is just farming.
I do agree with this decision. I think that if you try to fight this, that there is a chance that you win, but if the game is destabilized and you lose, then you could lose, 2 tier 2s and the map looks really bad, as opposed to this where you're able to get a slight CS advantage because Sivir is able to shove in that wave, and then Yon's also able to shove in that wave, and they feel a little bit better. And the game doesn't blow up, which I think is what they're very, very afraid of right now, is because I feel like this game is just on a knife's edge, and in one fight, it could just all be over.
Yeah, I think what was crazy about game 2 was that that's the way it felt, except Bilgewater being down still just fought everything, and somehow still managed to get to the end. But this, I agree. I think that they understand, hey, we're not too far out of this, but we got to be realistic. We have certain item breakpoints to get to. Xayah is up right now 2 items, so our server is 1.5. We just got to be realistic about where we need to be able to pick a fight, and so they're going to hold off for now.
And with Zac Yon together, they can always look for a play somewhere on the side lane. I'm not sure what just happened bot. Ori and Yon right now are trying to share a lane, which is going to feel pretty bad for them. Yon's going to want to take every CS he can. So I think he's going to back and go back top here, but the Zac is going to be kind of stuck in the bot jungle here. He might run top here, but the Cho'Gath is what they really want to be focusing on now as a team, because if the Yon's able to crush the side lane even harder, then he's going to be able to, again, like draw more pressure. But, you really want Zac on the same side of the map to do that, and then you want Soraka warding. But if they're not doing that, then you don't know what's going to happen. Like, this is a great example. We didn't get the wards down earlier. We're trying to kill the Cho'Gath, and now all of a sudden we lost almost all control of top jungle. We don't even know it.
Yeah, this is quite a crowded jungle, although neither side really knows it. Very, very, talk about a knife's edge right here. Okay, Zac is just going to send it. Finds his way into 2 of them and just gets totally obliterated.
I don't think he was expecting that many people to be there. I think he was expecting to jump on 1 person, not 2. But maybe they are expecting more. Oh my god! And Malzahar just going to go for the ult in the mid lane here. This fight is really fast paced all of a sudden. This
yeah,
game
no follow up on the
0 to
Malzahar
60.
ult. But nothing really can be done from either side. That Malzahar ult, the fight seemed kind of like it was chilling off for a second, but
it's like everything felt stable until a solid 30 seconds there, and then everyone just used all at the same time, and then I think we're gonna have a stable like 5 minutes again.
Yeah, ping's coming
Maybe
out
not, though.
onto the Baron on spawn. Xayah does it really fast, so you kind of gotta have a bigger smite when you have a Xayah on your team.
I mean, I think this is a great call because they also have Cho'Gath, and when Malzahar gets there, Malzahar also does Baron pretty quickly. So not only are they able to burn it very fast, but they will win every smite battle that they have. And they already have wards in the top jungle. So I think that they are planning to play for this, but it looks like Udyr is going to be a little bit late comparison to the team. I think he's clearing bottom to top. But I don't know if we're going to see a way to stop this Baron, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be... You got to think on one hand, it's going to be tough to fight it, and you definitely just can't even think about flipping it. You're either going to have to commit to a fight, or just give it. And think about what's at stake here if they grab the Baron. You got Drag in a minute, that'll be soul point for them. Just makes it really hard to push, and the game kind of just starts to tip back towards Bilgewater's snowball. So I think that they are not going to want to just give this up.
I don't think they can, but also, is there anything they can even do? They need the Ori here as fast as possible, but they have really no way to walk into this team. Again, this is 5 people that love the enemy team to try to walk it in. Zac is going to try to go for a steal. He's not able to get it, though. Zac is going to go down here. Swain is in the back line, and he's trying to kill them, but he's unable to find a whole lot. Oh my god, he's able to land a great E on Soraka, though. Soraka goes down too. I think they might be able to just end the game now. They're looking to catch Udyr to try to make sure that the game isn't just over, but if they overchase here, the Zaya and Cho'Gath might be able to catch up and then finish these last 3 off. Looks like they are able to get away, though. The Udyr is able to also get away, and I think that they should probably be pressuring towers now. It looks like Swain is going to go after the top turret, and we have another fight mid here. Yon's trying to go for an assassination on the Zaya, unable to find it, and that means he doesn't have ult now, which means he has basically no pressure onto this team as they push down mid.
Yeah, the Baron minions are doing a lot, so we're trying to clear through. They're going to get some damage onto this turret, but Adelphi trying to hold takes a lot of damage. Soraka comes in to give a little bit of health. They're going to be able to hold the base for now, which is pretty important. So Udyr's going to solo the dragon. They're going to have to wait for another wave to do anything, but it seems like they're just kind of chilling, waiting for the drag to go down. Let's see what they want to do. Back coming out from Zaya, it seems that she has an item. I.e.
And Sivir is a full item behind now. I think she still needs to recall, so maybe it's not that bad, but she is also upgraded boots behind, so I'm pretty sure that the difference is a very, very big deal at this point in the game. I don't know if Sivir's going to be able to make up the difference, even if 5 people are stacked on top of each other and she's getting great Qs and great Ws. I don't think they ever win straight stat checks with this team because they do just have 3 very, very tanky people. And Ori can't make up that difference, so you almost need Yon to be free hitting, but he's never allowed to free hit into this team.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible task at that point. This Zac too just got pretty far behind from that sequence from early game that we saw and kind of lamented about. And when Zac, Zac's supposed to be squishy as a character, but not in terms of as a tank. And right now, Zac gets popped pretty fast, so it's really hard. But Cook Noodle is going to find a pick here. That's just a straight up solo bolo in the top lane, and that's gonna help. That's gonna help a lot.
It's going to feel so good because if you look at now, Bilgewater has to split up. They're unable to find pressure on the map now. And all of a sudden, Nazumah has a lot of room to breathe. They are able to find angles now to not only farm, but they might be able to set up vision to see if they can get into their jungle again, because Zac has been unable really to play for his jungle for most of this game. But maybe now is his moment. I mean, they might try to collapse now on the Swain here because the Sivir and the Zac are on the wrong side.
Unknowingly going to walk between Udyr and Swain is very, very skeptical, but is going to commit and is just going to die. Xanash is out. Oh, Lone Wolf flashing into the turret. Gets caught under aggro, taking damage, but is going to survive. The turret goes down before being able to fire off the shot that would kill. So no one's going to die. The turret will go down. And that was a lot for end up just being the turret itself.
I am honestly shocked. That was a very, very good flash. That's not an easy angle to find. And also to even recognize that you're going to survive the flash after you're already out is very, very impressive. I think it was a great angle for Toph to look for, but they're just unable to find too much from it, but they are able to get the tier 2.
Ooh, that
looks like
that's a nice
Toph is able to find Noodle, though, in the jungle here. He's going to try to take him down, but Yon just does so much damage. He goes down, but Udyr is going to go down too.
Yep, Zac is going to flash, and they're going to get the shutdown. That's going to go over to Zac, not to the Sivir.
Well, at least he's a little bit closer now in gold. Oh, it looks like we have another fight here again. I don't think they were intending to play this.
Yeah, no
Zac is going to try to get away here. I don't think he's going to be able to, though. No, Zac goes down. So both junglers traded. However, Yon is also down again. It is 4v3, and it looks like they're going to try to shove mid again and try to get something here. It looks like that wave top is also pushing into the tier 2, so there's a lot of pressure on the map and not a whole lot of ways to deal with it.
Cho'Gath has 3 stacks at 30 minutes.
Cho'Gath, what?
Cho'Gath has 3 stacks.
Oh!
So anyways, they're going to crack and the flash is going to come in. The Butler will get healed up here, but just a Soraka and an Orianna.
The Bella just saved the game, able to find an insane shockwave on the back line. Instantly kills one and forces the enemy team out. Otherwise, they might have honestly just been able to win there. And if that shockwave wasn't as good as it was, I think that everyone may die because they were so far up near the tier 3. They almost needed to be a Nexus there to be safe, but I mean, game-saving shockwave there. Has he ulted a single minion, by the way, Cho'Gath?
1 minion, 1 monster, 2 champions. When you're a void monster, sometimes you can't be a picky eater.
In Cho'Gath's defense, I suppose you are side laning into Yone, and with the percent health damage, the more health will protect you, but not an insane amount. And it may just be safer for you to have the ult off cooldown just in case you need it. But I think in this kind of situation now, when you're getting into the the post 30 minutes, you really want to be a little bit tankier than this. Swain able to find an E on Soraka here, and looks like Soraka's going to go down. Oh, that's the fifth the fifth beast of the game. Oh my God! Zach able to find a beautiful double knockup, but it doesn't matter. Dibella is going to go down, and then it looks like Zach is also going to go down. I mean, this is exactly what they don't want. The game is now destabilizing. They only have 3 people to defend now. There's a drag on the map, Witch's Soul. There's Baron and the towers. It looks like they're going to go for the turrets, but no matter what Bilgewater decides to do here, it's going to be a very good decision.
Yeah, 35 seconds on the death timers. They have the push. They have the grubs. I mean, with Xayah and with Xayah here and their siege, they probably can just end here. They've got a super minion wave coming in. They find the ultimate onto the Cooked Noodle, and he will go down. Xayah is able to stay alive, low HP, low enough to have to actually back here. Soraka ult's going to come out just onto the Sivir. Sivir is not able to clear this wave. It's going to get knocked up, and Sivir has to flash back into the base. Just going to die. Swain gets the kill, but so the Nexus is going down, and game 3 is going to come to a close. Bilgewater pull off the reverse sweep.
That was a great game played, honestly. I thought that was very high level. Like, I think a lot of the macro decisions made sense. I think the pathing made sense. Those invades from Toph were also very, very good and took away the win condition of Nazumah. So I think that was just great play all around. I also thought the Zac pathing was really good. I didn't see anything in this game I thought was, like, egregious.
I mean, I agree. I think it was a very well-played game. They just converted a lot, and we got to be done before 35 minutes. Well, that was a banger. That was a banger series. Awesome games. Well played to everyone. That was there's a lot of cool moments there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was not only a fun series, with the way that last game ended and that energy. I was afraid that energy would slow down, but it felt like this whole game, except for like a 5-minute lull there, this whole game, it was important decisions back to back that made this game feel just as hype as the end of last game.
Yeah, so there's a form in the chat right now. I think that's probably an MVP form. Yeah. So go ahead and vote. That will be. I think we post that later, right? The results to that later. I think so. But yeah, it is 12:25. I don't know if there's a captain chat that's supposed to go on, or if we just want to all say, hey, GG's, that was a banger. Let's head to bed. Let me know. I'm if you want, come in for a chat. But otherwise, thanks for joining me for this last game. That was a fun time.
Yeah, of course. I thought you might have been dying. I'm sorry I couldn't have been here sooner. It's just that we had the flex queue, and I wanted to make sure we at least played with each other one time before our game.
Oh yeah.
But it was honestly very fun to commentate this. I like this game felt the way that this game felt unstable the whole time is honestly just so fun to watch.
It really is, and I think it's one of the cool things about kind of watching this bracket is that, and playing in the bracket as well, is that it is you throw a lot of things out the window, and that's kind of entertaining when you throw things out window. So.
Did Toph say if he wanted to have the captain interview or not?
Let's find out. I don't know if Toph is in the stream chat.
Doesn't look like he's saying anything. Also doesn't look like anyone on his team is saying anything currently.
Yeah, I think we can call it a good night on that note.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thanks everyone for sticking around and hanging out. It was a really fun match. That's week 1 for Chemtech League. I think that's both matches played. So we'll be back next week. Stay tuned. Lots of other leagues as well to enjoy. If you want to watch very different gameplay in the other leagues as well, welcome to do that. But thanks for coming around. Everyone have a good night. Peace out.